is Charles Almighty Wraith of Game Warriors Gaming for a Cause, and this is Top 5. So, as always, this is our Board of Directors Top 5. This month we will be talking about our Top 5 comic book villains. So, with that being said, if you have a villain that is your absolute favorite and doesn't make the list, leave a comment below, let us know, and let us know your thoughts on our list. So, let's get right to it. So, coming in at number 5, we have Superman. So, I know what you're saying. Superman's a good guy. Well, yes, he is, usually. But in the Injustice comics, which this one's coming from, that came out in, I think, 2013, he is the villain. So he starts out as the good guy, but winds up being the villain. So, if you've seen some of our other videos where I talk about Superman, you know he's not one of my favorite heroes. As a child, I really enjoyed him, but the older I got, I started looking for ones that had flaws and everything else. And really, most of the iterations of Superman do not have that. So, but as a villain, oh my God, that was awesome. So, backstory on him, the Superman that we know and most people love is drugged by the Joker and used as a weapon to destroy Metropolis, and also he ends up killing Lois and their unborn child, which sends Superman on this downward spiral, and starting with getting vengeance and killing the Joker. I mean, in the middle of an interrogation that Batman's doing, he breaks in, shoves Batman to the side, and the Joker just keeps on pushing him until Superman puts his fist through his chest. Well, it just goes downhill from there. He gets other members of the Justice League to follow him, creates a regime, and rules mankind with an iron fist, and basically kills anybody that opposes him. And, you know, so if you haven't played the game or read the comics, I highly recommend doing both. So that's our top. That's our number 5. So coming in at number 4, and that is Magneto, the master of magnetism. He is the most notably known as the foe of the X-Men. He appeared in X-Men number 1, I think. Yeah, X-Men number 1 back in '63, if I remember correctly. And he, you know, over the years, he's had a couple changes in his backstory, but you know, most notably, you know, he has been a friend of Xavier, even though that they, you know, the founder of the X-Men, but they have different views on how mutants and humans are to coexist. And you know, Charles thinks that we should coexist equally, and, you know, whereas Magneto feels that mutants are superior to human and should be treated as such. So he's got a little superiority complex going on. You know, he's played the role of villain, anti-hero, and even in some cases hero, and everything. But I really like the character development of him. You can actually see why he does what he does, even though it's misguided. You can understand with his backstory of why he has made the choices that he has made. So it makes him an appealing character, in at least my opinion. And now on to number three. And back to DC, we have Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, the master assassin, foe of Teen Titans and Batman and Green Arrow and other members of the Justice League. Um, he's mainly known for being a foe of the Teen Titans. He especially has it in for Dick Grayson, uh, the original Robin, who later became Nightwing. Um, he actually debuted in 1980 in New Teen Titans number two, issue number two, and his character design I really enjoy. It's kind of simplistic, but it's kind of cool looking at the same time. Um, he he's actually the inspiration for Marvel's Deadpool, which they actually named Wade Wilson as a kind of a nod to Deathstroke or an inside joke. So, um, but Deathstroke, like I said, he's been around since the '80s. Some of the he's been a hero, anti-hero. I think actually in a couple storylines he's the hero per se. Um, but really enjoy this character, and anytime he's on screen or in the comic, it's going to be entertaining, uh, at least in my opinion. And now for number two. And with number two, the best way to put it is his name says it all. And that is Carnage. He is, like I said, his name says it all. So, Carnage is a part of the symbiote alien race that, you know, goes through the Marvel Universe, especially the Spider-Man set. And he's most notably known as the foe to Spider-Man and to Venom. He actually spawned, for the most part, I think he spawned from the Venom suit. Um, so he's kind of, an offshoot of Venom, and he's way more crazy than Venom, sociopathic, more powerful than Venom, and most notably known as being having a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy, as his host. And boy, that combination right there is a match. I mean, their personalities mix so well, and whereas just not so well for the other people living in their universe, but man, they mix well. They are a vicious foe, like I said, for both Spider-Man and Venom. Um, we are supposedly going to get to see him in the next Venom movie. I hope so, because that's what they kind of teased at the end of the first one. Um, so I'd love to see that. Now, just like Venom, he's had multiple hosts. I think one of them was actually Norman Osborn. But he debuted in April '92 in the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 361, I believe. So he's been around for relatively small time. Uh, so he's like the second youngest on our list. But my first introduction to Carnage was the Maximum Carnage video game that released in the '90s, shortly after his debut. So it's one of my favorite Spider-Man games, especially for pre Spider-Man for the PS4. Uh, but uh, like I said, his name says it all. So, all right, now getting ready for that number one spot. Like I said in the beginning, if you have any comments, leave us a comment below on any of uh, your top five or anything you'd like to add to our top five. If I've gotten anything wrong about the superheroes, I mean these villains, let us know. I like learning. And so, with that being said, it's time for our number one spot. The oldest villain on our list, and on multiple top five lists, top 10, top 100 lists, and that is the Joker, the clown prince of crime. So, I mean, it's the Joker. Everybody knows the Joker in some form of fashion, whether, you're a comic book fan or not, you know who the Joker is. Um, he's been around since Batman issue number one in 1940. So, like I said, he is the oldest one on our list. Now, he he's sadistic, he's violent, he's crazy, all that. Now, in the 50s uh, through the late 70s, somewhere around there, they toned him down, made him more goofy and everything else. If you remember the Adam West TV series, he's more goofy and everything else. But back in when they get into the 70s, we start to see a return to his darker roots and everything. Um, but one thing I like about the Joker is that there is no real clear backstory on him. There's no definitive this is who he is. Um, and they actually made kind of a nod to that in the Dark Knight when uh, Heath Ledger's Joker starts talking about how he got the scars. It changes from each person. Um, so, like I said, he doesn't have a very clear. One of the most consistent things is that he gets dropped into a vat of chemicals that turns his skin white, and he goes even more crazy. The other thing I like about the Joker is that he is not a superhuman. He is not an alien. He is just a psychotic freak that causes chaos with gadgets and everything else. And, he uses razor sharp throwing cards. He uses exploding, those little teeth that bounce. He uses a lot of Joker themed weapons and everything else that utilize explosives and chemicals and everything else. I mean, he's got a laughing gas that, causes whoever inhales it to laugh till they die. He's got a little pale flower that spits acid, you know. So, he's most notably known as being a foe to Batman, but, he's went against several other people as well. Like I said in the beginning of the video, he drugs Superman and uses Superman as a weapon to destroy Metropolis. He's got, he beat Jason Todd, which was the second Robin, almost to death with a crowbar and then blew him up. So he sat there and he paralyzes Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. He can't even be trusted by his fellow villains because you never know what the Joker's going to do. So um, that's why he is our number one. And you know, I am more of a Marvel fan than I am DC. But the one thing that I have to say about DC is, to me, their villains are better developed um, uh, overall. Don't get me wrong, Marvel's got some great villains. Uh, Carnage is easily in my top three, but he to me, DC has a better set of villains, whereas Marvel has a better set of heroes. Um, I enjoy the comics as a whole. So, like I said, I'm just more of a Marvel fan than DC. Nothing against DC, but you know. So that's pretty much all I have, guys. Until next time, this is Charles on my race saying, stay awesome. Hey guys, it is Charles Almighty Wraith, and
Wrestler 58.
we hope y'all enjoyed our video and everything. Be sure to check us out on all of our other social media networks, such as YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitch,
Twitter,
Instagram,
and Patreon.
and also be sure to like and share the videos. And all right, until next time, this is Almighty Wraith and
Wrestler 58.
saying stay awesome.